Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Zane and this is the Zane's Out of View, and we are doing a review of a Polaroid 7-inch tablet. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually doing a review on a Polaroid 7-inch tablet that I just picked up. Luckily for me, I had some cash due to a situation, a good situation actually. They owe me money, I got it, and I got this. Now, this seems to be the first review of this tablet on YouTube, because the closest tablets that come to this is the PTAB702C, PTAB701C, and maybe the PTAB705C. Now I'm not sure about the 5C. I think it's a 1.2 gigahertz processor compared to a 1 gigahertz processor. I could be wrong, you guys can tell me below. Now this tablet is the PTAB7XC. Now I'm going to compare pretty much the stats, which is not much. I mean, this tablet compared to the 702, 703, and I think the 705. Like I said, you can tell me below. It has a 1 gigahertz processor, 512 of DDR3 RAM, 4 gigs of internal hard drive space. And this is where things suck for these tablets. If anyone's seen this who really doesn't know anything about tablets, and I'm not one of those people who know everything about tablets, this is my first tablet. But what I have learned over my experience being somewhat into computers, when you get a computer or a laptop or even a tablet, when they manufacture the hard drive, you don't get 100% of the hard drive. You will get it'll be a little bit less than what it is. If it's a 50 gig hard drive, you might get down to 48 gig or 49. You lose a little bit because of the manufacturing construction of the hard drive itself. This sucker has 4 gigs of internal hard drive, so you might get 3.8 or 3.9 gig. One ice cream sandwich, and it does have it, and I'll talk about that in a minute, is installed. It takes up maybe 2.4 gigs of space on your drive. So what do you have? In this case, with this lovely tablet, you get 1.64 gigs of space. I will say it again, 1.64 gigs of space. Not even talking about the apps. I got 75 megs of apps on this tablet, so it goes under a gig. This is where things suck in this technology. But this does come with a micro SD card and card reader, so you basically can get a micro SD card, stick it on there, and put your apps, your videos, your music on it, and you try not to use the internal space for any type of videos or music. Just put the apps on it if you can. Now I'm going to show you what we got here. Can we actually be seen here? Please tell me you can see. Let me turn this light on. Maybe I might actually get something here. This so sucks. Sorry if you can't see very well. What we have here is a 3.5 headphone jack, a micro SD card slot, a micro USB, your volume rocker, and your power button. On the front, you do have a home button, and a lot of times they don't keep them anymore for the simple fact that people like to basically root these things and they don't exactly like it. So, well, at least some of the time. That's at least my experience. So they're taking them out. You do have your camera right here, as you can see. There's nothing on the sides. You do have 2 screws. That means you can open it up from the side. On the back, you get like a matte finish. You can see it. It really doesn't click too much, so it's pretty solid. You get a stereo speaker, which is not the greatest, I'm sure, but at least it's something. And you do get a pinhole for your reset. Now, I'm going to show you what comes in the box. I'm going to show you the box, which makes this a little bit different than the regular tablets that Polaroid has done. You get a quick guide. Not much to it, just like the average. The manual, which I would suggest getting the PDF on the line. online at Polaroid site. And if anyone's thinking of getting the Maylong 270, if you look on YouTube, a lot of people have had mixed results with it. And when I went to the Maylong site to see what's going on, I couldn't download the PDF. I can only see it online. It kept malfunctioning. And worse, when you went into, or at least in my experience, when you went into the accessory category to see what you can buy from the site, it crashed my system. There's something wrong with their site. I could be wrong. There might be something wrong with my system, but I have no problems going to any sites on my Firefox. None. Just going into the accessory area basically crashed my system. Now you do get a AC power adapter. The only problem is it's micro USB. As far as I understand, and I could be wrong because I have not checked out the site, I don't know if you can charge it. As far as I know, you probably can. The other models can charge from your computer, so I don't know until I'll check it. You do also get a micro USB to USB. I wish they would include a female micro USB instead of just as a male, because many people are using keyboards and mouses with these, or they're actually using an Xbox 360 to actually play games. Finally, here is the box. Now, you see on the front, if you didn't get a chance to see the front of this, this is the back. And as you can see, you got some happy people there. And unfortunately, you probably cannot see that very well. It is so blurry. That is PTAB7XC. Not much different than the boxes that you get from the PMID 702 or 703, maybe even 705. But this is where things get different, and you saw a flash of it. This one is running, sorry, not running. This is running a Windows 8-like UI. Is that great? It counts on how you feel about Windows and Windows 8. I tried Windows 8 a little bit. I tried in the stores, and I've also tried the previews, and it sucks. I hate the damn thing. I wish they'd get shot for what they've done. But in a tablet, it might actually be doable. Now I'm going to turn the tablet on so you can see how the tablet works. Now I just powered this thing up a couple of times, and this thing simply turns on quickly. It's not dead turn off. I didn't turn it off and turn it back on. Wait a minute. There we go. And it's on. Now as you can see, this is a Windows style-like interface. Is it bad? No. In a tile form on a tablet, it could actually work for people who are entry levels into tablets. I myself, this is my first tablet, and I never had the money to buy one, so this is actually pretty cool. Particularly, I'll explain how I got this tablet. But as you can see, anyone who's not really into tablets for Android, they could probably get used to this. It's not too bad in its reaction compared to others. From what I've seen and went into the store, it's not that bad, but it is a cheap tablet. Now you have camera, gallery, Facebook, browser, and email on the first page. Come on. You got two settings, your regular settings and your Wi-Fi, your online help, power, and download apps. It's not bad. You get up in the corner, you go into your categories, and it's pretty clear. It works alright in landscape and portrait. Reaction's not that bad. Is it slow? Yeah. Compared to other tablets, yeah, but it's not that bad. Now let's go into the file manager. You can see some pictures and some videos that I actually put under the SD card. First, I'm going to do a picture, one I love to death. This, hang on, I'll be like this. This is not too bad for pictures. I mean, they can do pictures. Yeah, but I'm going to say this. This is the F5 Tiger II, ladies and gentlemen. In my humble opinion, the best aircraft ever built in history. For the simple fact is this thing was built in '56. It's still being manufactured today in a different form. The F-18 was based on this sucker. It's a beautiful aircraft that was built in the 50s. It's more than half a century old, and it's still highly maneuverable, still useful. And I think Saudi Arabia had licensed somebody, or Northrop along with them, to build an offshoot of this that has 2 tailplanes. Instead of 1 right there, it's 2. So that's some cool mess. Now here is some music. Sounds not that bad, but it is on max right now. As you can see, max volume. What the heck? It's on max right now. And this isn't a half bad song. If you want to know what this song is, I'll leave a title in there, and then you can search on the YouTube for yourself. And whoops, went out of it. Sorry about that. Like I said, this is my first tablet. I'm still learning how to deal with it. Now I'll show you 2 videos. I ain't going to do them very long because I don't want to be pulled off of YouTube. And this is the only thing that's a problem. The problem I see is this. It does not go from landscape to portrait. It is constantly portrait. There are some that can actually do the transition, but this one is not one of them. Now this is the next video, very short. This is Tech War. And please, come on. And that's all I'm going to show you, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a freeze frame of it. I do not want to get pulled. But as you can see, it's not a bad tablet for the price that I got it for, and this is where things get very interesting. This tablet I got right in here, in my area of New York. I got it for $59.99. With taxes of 8.75%, I paid $65 for this. It's not a bad buy at all. I'm very shocked. And as you can see in the corner, it says roughly 69% power left in the batteries. Now, I've had this almost nearly 3 days, and I've only used it maybe 10 or 20 minutes. So it's basically been back in its box and put away. The battery is still holding a pretty good charge. So, essentially speaking, you put it on standby, it'll do pretty good. But battery life, probably when you do videos and music and stuff, will probably drain. You'll probably get maybe 3.5 hours out of it. It does take roughly 2 hours from the website, I understand, to charge, maybe 3. So you might get 3 hours out of it, maybe 4. It depends on your settings. So how do I feel about this tablet? It's really good for the price. I mean, the store I got it from, the day I got this tablet was the last day of the sale. And they didn't even want to give it to me at $59.99. They wanted to jack it up to $89.99 until I bugged them and they said, oh, fuck, we got a pain in the ass here. Just give them the damn tablet and get them out. So I got a really cheap tablet. So I'm very lucky to get it. And, there we go. For some reason it didn't want to turn. And as you can see, it does pretty good with the pictures. With your, oh, here I am. Woohoo! This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. I know I've talked a bit longer than I wanted. Is the picture quality from the camera good? It's a 1.3 megapixel. Nope. This camera you see in front of you is a crappy camera. It sucks. But for someone who's doing YouTube on a really tight budget, we're going to be honest here. You want to do some basic pictures. You want to do some basic video. And you want to try and do it on YouTube. This, if you have no option to get even a camera, you could get away with this. As you can see me pretty well as long as I'm not jerking it around. So you could set this up and make this into a fairly decent camera. I wouldn't suggest you do this if you're really trying to make something big out of yourself on YouTube. Get yourself a good thing. Right now I don't got no money, so I can't do that. But this will be very interesting to work with and to do testing. So I would suggest if you do find a Polaroid 7-inch PTAB7XC, consider picking up. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Subscribe and comment to my channel, but understand that this is a wrestling show. Turning it off. And this is what you'll see when you power it down. This is a wrestling show. I rarely do these types of reviews. Actually, this is the first one I've ever done of an actual item. So if you do subscribe and comment, I'll be very happy. And I hope this is very helpful and educational for you. Have a good day.